What up, internet? It's your boy Tinku. I know it's been a couple weeks since I made a video, but sometimes you need a break, if you know what I'm saying. And I just needed a break to catch up on some anime and some manga, and now I'm back to make a video, and so here we are. Normally, I won't make these type of videos because I really only like to talk about animes and mangas that I like. But sometimes an anime comes along that's so pretentious, it has to be shit on and taken down a peg or two. And it sucks because in the beginning it was good. You know, it's one of those things where the first half of the anime is good and the second half just falls apart, is a mess, and just utter shit, we'll say. So, but before we get started, don't forget to like those videos, watch those videos, subscribe to the channel. And with all that said, let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to be talking about Platnum End. So, I was reading this manga a while back, and I dropped it because after the first half of it, I kind of fell off. But the anime came out, so I watched the entire anime, and it is worse than I ever could have imagined. It is done by the same people who did Death Note. Now, I know Death Note is held in super high regard, and I think it's an okay anime. You know, it's good enough anime. I don't think it's one of the best of all times, like a lot of people are saying. But, I mean, it's good. But Death Note suffered from the first half being really great. Spoiler warnings with L. And then after L loses or dies, the second half is just contrived. And L's backup plan was just crap. And You know, like I said, it's fine. I wasn't whole into the second half. It is a good anime. I don't hate it or anything like that. I liked it. But it's not like on my list of best animes of all time like it is for a lot of people. But yeah. Platnum End is done by the same guys, and oh my god, how do they drop the ball so bad on this? It is rough. After that first half, it is rough. So, I'm going to spoil the ending because the ending is that shit that I'm going to save you guys from having to watch it. That's how bad it is, especially when you compare the first half to the second half. It's bad. So, Platnum End revolves around mainly two main characters. So the concept is God is dying. Alright, God's dying, so he needs to pick a successor. So he tells his angels to go out, and there's 7 angels, I think, 7 special rank angels or rank 1, rank 2 angels, to pick out candidates for the God selection process, and then one of those candidates is going to become God. Okay, so the angels pick people who don't have a will to live, so they can try to find happiness. So there's a big concept of happiness, you know, sprinkled in a big thread throughout this whole anime. Okay, / manga. Okay, good. So it revolves around 2 main characters: Mirai Kakahashi and Hanako Saki. Childhood friends. The main character really is Kakahashi. He's the main dude, and they have 2 angels named Nase and Ravel. And so that is just 2 out of these 7 candidates. But that's who the focus of the story is on. About Kakahashi trying to find happiness. So, quick spoilers on his part. His family was basically murdered by his aunt and uncle. His aunt and uncle took him in, took his money, treated him like shit. Saki, who was his best friend, betrays him all the way from elementary school through junior high, never talking to him because he's the smelly kid. He's the kid everybody makes fun of because he's dirty all the time. His aunt and uncle don't let him bathe. He's poor, blah, blah, blah. Instead of being his friend and helping him through it, she betrays him and laughs along with the other kids and holds her nose at him to kind of help in. So that's why she is suicidal, because she feels so bad about doing this to her friend that she doesn't want to live. And of course, like I said, Kakahashi's in love with Saki, but Saki can't really love him back because of the shame she feels about how she treated him and all this good stuff. Well, they both get their angels. Their life turns around, obviously, because when you get an angel, you get to pick something. You get to pick a red arrow, which if you shoot somebody with the red arrow, they fall in love with you for 30 days or something like that and do whatever you want. Or you can get wings, which gives you the freedom to go everywhere you want. And then if you have a special rank angel, which is rare, I think Nasi is a special rank, you get a white arrow. And if you shoot somebody with a white arrow, they die. Okay. Kakahashi was just like, well, why can't I just have all 3? And Nase goes, okay, cool, and gives him all 3. So, cool, he has all 3. while Saki only gets a red arrow because her is not a special rank angel or anything like that. All right, so God selection's happening. Blah blah blah. The big villain for the first half is a guy called Metropolitan Man. His story is kind of tragic as well, but he's just a narcissist, and he figures if he kills the other god candidates, then he'll just become god by default. So that's what a big line of the story is. Kakahashi spending a lot of time with Saki because he saves her for some stuff, and admitting that he's in love with her, and Saki fighting with her feelings for him because of how bad she feels. And it's a great story. Them and they get another god candidate, Jonim, who has cancer, is on the verge of death. And he's dying slowly because he has lung cancer. It's really compelling with that trio going against Metropolitan Man and him trying to lure them out to kill all the god candidates so he can become god by default and blah blah blah. And then the showdown with them is amazing. It's great. Just like Death Note, the first half is amazing. The fight, the feelings, the reasoning. Their ally that they get is dying of cancer, but he has a wife and daughter, and she's pregnant, and just that whole thing, and how Metropolitan Man is using this stuff against him. And of course, the whole thing with Kakahashi is, even though he has a white arrow, he doesn't want to kill anybody. His only goal is to find happiness, and his happiness is Saki. That's just kind of how it plays out. So it's great. But once they resolve that, and obviously they win, they beat Metropolitan Man, and they got to decide who God is, the whole show just falls apart. They introduce some of the other god candidates. One's this emo kid that wants to kill himself because he's emo. It's stupid. There's a kid who just wants to play games, have fun all day. There's a genius professor that so up his own ass, it's just ridiculous. A girl who just wants to live a life of luxury, and so just wants to use her arrows, do that, blah blah. And so they decide they're gonna have a vote, and there's a big showdown between the emo kid and the doctor and Saki and his group to try to decide who's god, blah blah. And it was okay, but it wasn't as good as Metropolitan Man arc. You know what I mean? It could keep you along. What sucks is the ending. The ending is just pure garbage. It's trash. It's so up its own ass, pretentious. It's ridiculous. And I'm gonna tell you what the ending is right now. At the end, the emo kid is the one that decides that he's gonna be God, because he makes some promises, and then Saki and Kakahashi can be together, be happy, blah blah. And so he becomes God. He merges with the God or the entity that's up there, but he still has part of his emo personality, sad, whatever. And he pretty much kills himself as God, ending all existence. Just the themes they set up in the beginning of the anime to how it's the whole Evangelion, everybody's goo at the end, garbage. It's like, that's not what you set this up to be. I get some of the themes they were trying to go for, but what you set up in the first half and the whole finding happiness, becoming God, blah blah thing, and then to what you ended up with, it makes no sense. Especially with the emo kid, because the emo kid doesn't want to inconvenience others. He wants to create a world where if you want to die, you can die. That's what his ideal world was. And so that's kind of why they let him be God, because, he didn't want to inconvenience others. So him killing himself, destroying humanity, is a big inconvenience to everybody else, I would say. So one, he would have never done that, so out of characteristics. And it's just like, I think they were just trying to be, oh, look at how artsy we are. And no, again, you dropped the ball on the 10-yard line, you morons. It's stupid. It's the dumbest ending I've ever seen, and I've seen a lot of dumb endings. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm trying to be maybe I'm being too hard on it. But the way it was going, Saki and Kakahashi get married, open up a flower shop, and then just one day they notice that everybody's poofing because God killed himself, and they're like, well, we knew we were gonna die eventually. At least we got to find our love and be happy for a little while, and then they embrace each other and poof. And no, that's it's so dumb. It's so dumb. And then they had a line about Nase, who was like an entity that the original God whatever found and made her an angel, and they had some questions about her, but they don't even do that. Poof. She goes, oh, I guess God's dead, I'm gonna poof now. She poofs too. It's stupid. Even though she was an entity that was around before God created all this stuff. So it just, again, they don't tie anything up. They do tie up the main story about happiness with Kakahashi and Saki, so that's fine. But the theological and the questions they ask, they don't tie none of those up. It makes no sense. the emo kid killing himself, even though he wanted to die, but he chose to become God so can make it to where people want to die, they can, but not to convenience the people who wanted to live so they could live. That was the whole thing. Like, he couldn't kill somebody who wanted to live. There's a point to where he has a chance to actually kill Saki and basically murder her, but he couldn't do it because Saki wanted to live, and he only wants to help people who wants to die. Not, like I said, so the whole him killing himself when he became God is stupid. I'm telling you guys, don't waste your time. Maybe I'm crazy. Let me know if I'm crazy down in the comments down below. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. I don't know, guys. Just, maybe I am wrong. Just let's get the conversation going and tell me. I don't know. And so remember, if you can't trust a fat guy you met on the internet, then who can you trust? Everybody have an awesome day.